Hello, my name is Xonevant, and Lizard Squad is back in the news. This time, a hacker known as Zeekill dodges prison after being brought up on 50,000 charges of hacking. But this story's not over yet. Let's get right into it on episode 69. I remember this one day, me and some friends of mine, it was actually 4 of us in the car, decided we were going to go game hunting. So, we get in the car, we go riding, we're going to do the whole food thing and just hang out, maybe check out a movie. And it was a Saturday, it was a nice day outside. So we just figured, let's go have some fun. And I remember we're getting into the city there. It was kind of busy streets where we were, where you get into all the lights and all that kind of stuff. And I remember this white Honda Accord pulling out. Like, it was behind us and then it just pulled out. We got into some double lane roads and this joker was flying, bro. I'm talking, it was probably a 45-mile-an-hour zone. And this dude was probably going 65, 70. And I remember we all laughed in the car because we were like, this dude's going to get caught. We're gonna be driving down the road because, he was way in front of us at that point. And we were like, this dude's going to get caught and it's going to be so funny when we ride past this joker and he's completely stopped and there's police behind him and he's getting in trouble. Like, that's going to be epic because we knew the area. We knew where the cops were. So we had this gut feeling that this dude was going to get stopped by the police. And about 4 miles down the road, this joker got caught. Now, I know that this guy probably thought he was never going to get caught. What's the odds that on this particular street on this day, there's going to be a policeman somewhere around the corner and I'm going to get caught? Really, what are the odds? And I'm sure that this wasn't the first time he was speeding through traffic and doing his thing. This is probably something that this person does all the time. And so now we kind of bring this mentality full circle. Read you guys this headline. It says, harassed dev tells Lizard Squad hacker, I'm coming for you. And if you guys remember, the Sony Online Entertainment boss, John Smedley, had an issue, I think it was late last year, with a hacker. And it was he was basically taking a flight and this hacker called in and blah, 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 said there's a bomb on the plane, and they ended up down in the plane and they had all their luggage out there, on the tarmac or whatever. And it was a crazy day. They also leaked a lot of his personal information, tax records, all kinds of crazy stuff from this dude that works for Sony. Now, come to find out, the same hacker that was messing with John Smedley's plane, which ends up being a guy by the name of Zeekill. That's what he goes by online. I don't know if it's Zeekill or Zeekill. I don't know if he tries to say it fast, but he's the same guy that is now being charged for bringing down the PlayStation Network and the Xbox Network last year during Christmas time. He did get a 2-year suspended sentence, and they basically want him to speak out against hacking, which I don't know how that's going to play out, but I'm sure he'll have to do it if it's something that he has to do to stay out of prison. But I'm still reading up on this as well. But I wanted to get this video up because John Smedley says, you might be done with that court, but I'm about to take you to court, not just for me personally, but to speak out against any of these hackers who are causing these issues against major companies and people, so forth and so on. And the article I'm reading has the Twitter feed where John Smedley actually contacts him and says, hey, I can take further legal action against you. And he says, quote unquote, I'm coming for you. So I'm not going to go through the Twitter feed, the back and forth they have, but I do want to go to the comments of this article because I expected there to be a lot more people siding with the hacker, right? So siding with the hackers, I should say, because he's part of a group, but they weren't. They were actually siding with John Smedley. And I guess I just kind of found that refreshing because it seems like when you look at stories like this, most of the time in the comment section, it's always, hackers for the win and, blah, blah, blah. And everybody's supporting the hacker groups. I just think like this, right is right and wrong is wrong. You know what I mean? And just like that dude that was speeding through lanes that I talked about earlier, he deserved to get caught at some point. And he's probably done that hundreds of times and never got caught. You know what I mean? But then the police made an example out of him. And we all got to ride past him and laugh at him. You know what I mean? Because he probably thought he was never going to get caught. And it was this Saturday that we got to watch him get caught. And I think we're getting closer and closer and closer to that day when one of these hackers is just going to get the absolute worst prison sentence ever. And they're going to get fined thousands and thousands of dollars. I mean, John Smedley is saying that, look, if anything, his parents should be partly responsible, and him. So I don't really know what the lawsuit's going to entail, but it does seem like John Smedley is going the distance with it, and I applaud him for that. I don't know what's going to happen with this story, but I will be following it because I think it's an important story. You know what I mean? These hacker groups and all this kind of stuff, it's got to stop, man. They say they're doing it because they want to help gamers be more protected because, we give our money to Sony and Xbox and blah, 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 and their security is not what it should be. And from what I understand about hacking, security can never be as tight as you want it to be because the hackers are always finding new ways around the security. So it just almost seems like a stalemate every time. We up our security, you find out how to hack it. We up our security, you find out how to hack it. Like, from my knowledge, and I've seen a couple documentaries on this and read some articles, and look, I'm no tech guy, but it just seems like that no matter what security functions they put into play, it can still be hacked at some point, right? So for these hacker groups to say that they're doing it for that reason, I'm just not buying it, man. I think they're doing it because they just want to have some fun on a Saturday night or whatever, right? And I just don't think that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm against the majority of the internet who thinks hacking is cool. And we've had this discussion before. I mean, there are times where hacking is, there's people with businesses and all they do is they hack companies to find out what the security flaws are, but they're paid. You know what I mean? They're a legit company. They don't harm anybody. They're there as a form of protection. And I just don't see why some of these hackers don't. I mean, I don't know, man. These people could probably be making hundreds and thousands of dollars a year if they would just do it legit. You know what I mean? Just make it legit. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to do it in a bad way. You know what I mean? You might could be working for Sony or Xbox. You know what I mean? It's definitely a talent, but it's like they're just using it for the wrong reasons. And I don't know. I have an issue with that. But you guys can let me know what you think about it in the comments below. See you guys right back here tomorrow.